out there changing my voice. So 2 things. 1, the scriptures on the screen obviously prove I'm right. 2, the Jews and their allies, their white supremacist allies, they are using a popular culture argument to argue that Jesus magically should be Jewish or more like a white Jew or something to this effect, when they're saying, hey, they're having a black person play Cinderella, or this dark-skinned Lebanese person play some Swedish king or something. I've seen these things, in the past months where these people bring up these arguments. So let's get into it, shall we? Is Jesus a Jew in the end of the Bible in terms of a Jewish person by flesh? Basically, no. Now, I'm ever so slightly part Jewish. Well, basically, the answer is no. Now, why? Well, the person who wrote Proverbs, right, King Solomon and these other guys who wrote Proverbs, they said that a prudent servant will rule over a disgraceful son and share the inheritance as one of the family. The word being used here is rule, right? Rule over. Who's ruling over who in the spiritual realm where it matters most? The people who have, human worth. Who rules over who and why? So, also Christ had said to the Jews that the kingdom of heaven will be taken away from you and will be given to someone who will produce its fruit. Also in the parable of the wedding banquet, Christ had said that the people who are the subjects of the kingdom will be thrown out because they didn't do God's work. They made it clear. Okay, so when the kingdom is taken from you, that includes the king, because the spirit is everything, the flesh means nothing. That the Bible also says that. And it says that the subjects will be thrown out. Now, perhaps the most important scripture on the screen is what John the Baptist says to the Jews. He says, stop being arrogant. Stop saying things like, hey, isn't Jesus a Jew? When he says that from these stones, God can raise up children from Abraham, for Abraham. He said, from these stones, God can raise up children for Abraham. Ham. Now, in another part of the Bible, Christ says that the stone that the builders have rejected has become the chief cornerstone, and that whoever falls on the stone will be broken to pieces, and whoever it falls on will be crushed. Is the stone that the builders rejected that has become the chief cornerstone. Now, who are the builders? First and foremost in the story, the builders are the Jews in the church who said to be led, and it's falsely, mind you, by Paul, who is a Jew. So, who are the builders, right? The logical assumption here is, well, it's everybody in a sense, right? But in a strong sense, it's the Jews who are trying to build on Moses' teachings, right? What have you. Abraham, Isaac, Moses, the prophets, the Tanakh, the Torah, what have you. And they make the Talmud and the Zohar and the Kabbalah, stuff that I don't think very highly of. Okay. So, when you piece the puzzle together, right? Because in Ezekiel it says flat out that it's a riddle, it's a puzzle. What do you get?